So my name is Emma Shanks. I am a sophomore. My major is business management, and I'm thinking of a minor in Chinese. That's because I was adopted from China, and I've always had an interest in the language, and I thought coming to UConn, it's a great opportunity to learn. I feel like as an Asian American at UConn, I felt included in some ways, not like I ever felt excluded, but I feel like from my own hometown there wasn't a ton of diversity. So then coming here and seeing so much more diversity and a larger Asian population just with the exchange students, but also with other people who are adopted or grew up in households that are from like the Asian region, it was just, I felt more included because it's like back home I feel like it was just more of me being a minority, and you just get like stereotypical questions that people would ask you like when you're younger, and there's no harm in that. Kids are always just curious, but I feel like here, not that I've necessarily reached out or been able to talk to a lot of them, but I feel like just being able to see the diversity has been very nice. I feel like for me, I'm gonna face a lot of adversary, like there's gonna be a lot of challenges, a lot of probably stereotypes, a lot of preconceptions about who I am. And of course there's the good preconceptions and then there's the bad preconceptions. But I feel like for myself in the business world, I'm just going to have to prove who I am and like what I stand for as an individual. But also you are a representation of your culture and your people, so it's like I always want to make sure I put a good impression and in some ways like prove that some of the stereotypes or the wrong preconceptions people have isn't true. I feel like maybe it wasn't necessarily myself that I learned something, but I feel like the others around me I've learned. Since I was adopted, I didn't grow up in an Asian household, but when I've been able to talk to people who grew up in an Asian household and were born here, it's just a very different perception of like cultural values, but also like things that they do or like practices. And there's nothing wrong with that, like everyone has their own values and beliefs, but I feel like in my field, it's always something to take into consideration, and it's just been a constant reminder that you need to be very accepting of other people, and you have to be aware that your views aren't necessarily right or wrong, they are your views, and other people might not have those, and therefore you just have to be very open-minded. Just something that I always think about is that it's always nice to talk to someone who has had similar experiences. I know for me with other adoptees, it's always like we've had like inside jokes and stuff, so like I feel like in many ways you always want to maybe not like subconsciously go back to like what you like, I guess, looks familiar in a sense, or what maybe you think is familiar. I also feel like I said before, having an open mind to other cultures, other values, like is always very important, because that just makes you a more knowledgeable person and you can just speak more intelligently at that point.